100 Doors Escape from School is a puzzle game currently free from Prime Gaming through the Legacy Game Store until the 19th of June 2024. It's similar in spirit to a game like the recent Tiny Robots Recharged, though presented quite differently. Here we just have static 2D screens with a door that we need to escape through. Unlike Tiny Robots though, there's no real attempt here to have a story to serve as a framework. You're in a school, you need to get out through the doors. That's it. To get through the doors you might need to find a key or a code, or do something a bit obscure like solving a memory matching puzzle. I don't know why that opens the door, but it does. There isn't a whole lot to the presentation here. The scenes look fine. There's a little bit of animation here and there, some of which is pretty janky, and there's a very low-key piano playing as background music. It's not going to wow anyone. It's okay. Interactable objects are different enough to just about stand out. They can be a bit difficult to spot, and the interactable areas don't stand out at all. You have no idea where you can click until you basically try and click it. Presentation does the job. Doesn't do any more than that. As with all puzzle games, the main feature is the puzzles. That's why they've got that name. In 100 Doors, they're pretty varied, ranging from traditional puzzles like a pipe puzzle to catching falling basketballs, which is more of a mini game than a puzzle. That one was weird. It's an odd mix sometimes. A lot of the puzzles are also the collecting items, putting them in your inventory and using them appropriately in the environment. Some of them revolve around doing actual maths, which is not something I've seen in any of the puzzle games that Prime Gaming has given away so far. So kind of nice to get something a bit different. What really stands out here, what's really notable, is that there's no real guide whatsoever to the type of puzzle you're facing on any given level. There's actually two puzzles. The first one is what is the puzzle, and then the second one is how you solve the puzzle. This does make it a little bit frustrating at times. A feature that I really didn't enjoy was the mouse shake. Sometimes you just have to hold the mouse button and shake it from side to side to reveal extra items. I don't know why this is a thing. It felt like a way to just increase the time you spend on each puzzle. It's so rarely required, I forgot about it often. So I got stuck on a couple of puzzles where you just had to move the mouse. It doesn't add anything to the satisfaction you get from solving a puzzle. All it made me do was use the hint function, which, to be fair, is pretty good. It gives you a proper hint. It doesn't tell you the answer directly to begin with, but the more you use it on a level, you do have to wait for it to recharge, by the way, the more direct the hint it gives you until it pretty much does it for you. There are some puzzles that rely on real world knowledge, which does mix things up a little bit and can trip you up. Other puzzles require you to listen to musical cues and maybe repeat them or get some information from them, so you have to have sound on. You cannot progress some levels without it. Do remember, if you play this game, that when you replay sounds and have to repeat them, you don't have to do the notes in one go. The game remembers what you've input, so I did things in chunks. I'd replay the sound cue, get 3 notes or 4 notes done, then replay it again and do the next 4. The same goes for combinations. The lock keeps what you've entered, so if you have to go back to another interactable object back and forth a couple of times, you don't have to remember all of it in one go. There are 140 levels here, which kind of puts a lie in the 100 Doors title, and I found some of them really tough, mostly due to the complete lack of direction on how to solve the presented puzzles, because some of them are bafflingly obscure. I had to go and check a walkthrough for a couple of them, and even when I got the answer, I was still completely none the wiser for what the puzzle actually wanted or how you got the code. I've played for about 5 hours and nearly finished it. I've had to look up the answers to maybe 4 or 5 of the puzzles, which is probably a little too many for that sort of frustration level. 100 Doors Escape from School with such a wide range of puzzle types and difficulties that some of them are going to feel way too easy, way too hard, or just really frustrating. But it also means that quite a lot of them are going to get it reasonably right. There are enough good ones that I felt challenged by the game, so puzzle fans wanting a good brain workout could certainly do worse than this one. Fair warning, it does start quite slowly because the first few levels are tutorials and do feel easy or weird, but don't let that put you off. You get some decent puzzles pretty quickly. I will say lateral thinking is also going to help in this because of that semi-obscure way that the puzzles are created. Because of that, I'm going to give this a mild recommend to puzzle fans, but I would advise to keep a walkthrough guide on hand for those puzzles that just don't make sense. I did check this on Steam, where it's free to play with microtransactions. It's not the case here. Here it's just free, whilst Prime's giving it away. So don't use the Steam version. On that one, it appears that the hint functions are behind a paywall, at least to a degree that frustrated some players. Which is why I think they have the shake functionality and also the frustrating puzzles is just to get money from people. It doesn't really happen here because those hint functions are free. You just have to wait 30 seconds or so. If you do fancy this one, grab it while it's free. Do not get the Steam version would be my recommendation. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.